Sam Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. I genuinely hope you are. If you're new in here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. 2 games before the World Cup left in terms of the West Ham. I don't really know what we're going to call it. Whether it's it's almost like BC and AD, isn't it? So I think it should be sort of BWC. So the BWC, that'll do. BWC. So 2 games left of the BWC season before the people go away, and obviously congratulations to Lucas Paqueta, who's been called up to the 26 or in Brazil, the Brazilian squad, which is fantastic. So good to see some representation there with West Ham wearing the Brazilian kit, and obviously World Cup kicks off 20th of November. Yeah, crazy. Anyway, I'll bring to you the Hammered headlines in association with the KUMB.com. Boys, check them out as always. 3 stories. It is a fullback special today. A fullback special. We have 1 new deal, 1 injury, and 1 potential out. There we go. We've got the royal flush of fullback news. Let's start with the 1 out because it's quite interesting. And it surrounds Vladimir Coufal. Now, according to Sky Deutschland, Bayern Leverkusen are allegedly keen to sign off right back Vladimir Coufal in the January transfer window. The Leverkusen boss, Xabi Alonso, former Liverpool player, wants to bring Coufal, who turns 30, to Germany this winter. He's allegedly not convinced by Timothy Forza-Mensa, who's formerly of Man United, and as a result wants to bring in the Czech Republic international. He was obviously bought, Coufal was bought in October 2020, so just over 2 years for £4 million. Absolute bargain at the time. Initially made such an impact to life at West Ham. I remember obviously that game, he started the Leicester City, I think, game away, and looked like he'd been playing that position for West Ham for years. He looked fantastic. He looked incredible value for money. He's regressed over the last year. He's now very much in the Europa Conference squad and the Cup squad rather than necessarily banging on a door for a first team place. And it seems as though his days under David Moyes are up or coming to an end. The Sky Deutschland claim that he's keen to bring him, and the German side will offer West Ham apparently anywhere near the 4. Well, if the I'm right. Basically, if Bayer Leverkusen offer us around £4 million or anywhere there, we won't give him a second thought, and let him go. I mean, he hasn't been great in the last year. Let's be honest. He had his groin injury back in September last year, and since he's come back, he hasn't looked the same player, which is a shame. And that usually happens with players, doesn't it? They get a serious injury, never come back the same player, and that's the same with Vlad. I mean, the fact he's 30 now, so physically he's on the way down as well, regardless of injuries, if he picks any up, and just doesn't have that dominate. I mean, I remember him against, was it Grealish last season? He absolutely dominated him. I think Son as well, he dominated as well. He's a lesser player than he was, unfortunately. He's a shadow of his former self. I think if we can get a return on that investment, initial £4 million investment, I think that's a great deal. And moving him would be a big step in the right direction, I think, in terms of changing the age of the squad. Last year we had one of the oldest squads in the Premier League. Vlad's wrong side of 20s now. He's 30 now, so I think we've got the likes of Tilo Kehrer, we've got Ben Johnson. There's still a question mark about whether Ashby's going to hang around. I think with Coufal going, that bumps Ashby up into 3rd place, maybe even 2nd place if Johnson goes onto the left hand side, for example, and is cover for Aaron Cresswell. So we shall see. There's also reports about us looking at Sanya, the midfielder. So again, sort of a Thomas Souček replacement. So maybe it's coming to the end of the Czech revolution in terms of on the pitch potentially. Who knows? Who knows? But he's done well, and he Blad. He has done well. Last year, not so much, but that particularly first season and a half was phenomenal, really, for us. For £4 million, absolute bargain. One player who's going to be hanging around for a little bit longer is Mr. Aaron Cresswell. Now, according to several reports, West Ham have offered Aaron Cresswell a contract extension, and that has been agreed by all accounts to take his deal to the summer of 2024. The veteran left back, who this summer will be marking 9 years at the club, had a year triggered extension triggered by the club, and the same will be put into place the following year also. So he signed back in 2014 from Ipswich Town under Big Sam, and is our current longest serving player. Now, obviously, with Mr. Noble moving upstairs, he's been a constant for almost a decade, and he's over 300 appearances for the club. And could get a testimonial year, really, in all honesty. He's still expected to play a key role for Moisey this season. Last month in October, he was in the Sofa Scores team of Europe for that month, playing left back with the likes of Messi and Haaland. And so, and with the World Cup approaching, he'll have a break as well. So, yeah. It's where you see Vlad, you see that the progression moving on, bringing younger players in. I get why they've offered him the extra deal, but I think left back is an area we need to improve, definitely. We know Emerson's a left wing back rather than a left back, in a similar mould to Arthur Masuaku wasn't a left back, he was a left wing back, and that goes us on nicely to our unfortunate injury news, and it's around Mr. Masuaku. He could be out for months after picking up a knee injury. He's been ruled out for a sustained period of time with a bone edema injury. He's currently on loan at Besiktas, and he could be out to 3 months, if not more. He's made a really strong start in Turkey, which is frustrating because he's been playing well, but it seems he's going to be on the sidelines for a long time. He's always had knee problems. He's been injured in and out, but this will be a huge blow to him. I mean, he joined in 2016. He's made over 125 appearances for the club. He's got a contract to the end of the season, and it's likely that, if his contract runs at the end of the season, he could well be a free agent, particularly with the signing of Emerson. Besiktas has an option to make his loan move permanently once the loan deal finished, but that remains to be seen, particularly if with the injury, unfortunately. If the Turkish club refuses to sign him permanently, he'll become a free agent, and given his quality and experience, there won't be a shortage of clubs out there for him. Maybe even some lower league or lower down Premier League clubs potentially, if he was going to stay in England. But we wish him all the best. We wish him all the best, Arthur Masuaku. So as I said, it was a fullback special today. And that's it, my friends. Thank you very, very much for your time, as always. As I said, if you're new around here, new to the West Ham Network, see that button down there, little button down there, hit it. If it's not red, if it is red, hit it, and it goes grey, and it means you're subscribed, and you don't miss any of the content. We've got some really, really cool stuff happening over the World Cup, some really good ex-player interviews coming on, and various other interviews with other clubs and stuff, so keep an eye on that. And until next time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay dry, and I'll see you when I see you. See you when I see you. Bye-bye.